Hello, I am Jacobus, and today I have a Dota discussion to make. Mostly, Windranger fucking sucks. Super low win rate hero right now. I think it's mostly because she doesn't physically do anything anymore. She just hits people with power shot. So that's not ideal, as they say. Yeah, would not recommend picking Windranger in this year of our Lord 2024 in December. Current patch is 7.37E, but yeah, the current win rate there pretty low. Has a lot to do with the hero just not really doing anything. I guess we'll switch over and give you a look. You can see in Herald, she's down at 43. At Divine, she's over at 42. Just having a real bad time. So sadly, that is the nature of that hero, but not really the whole discussion either. Hoodwink is in a similar area, kind of like well played at the high levels, but generally speaking, it's all just acorn shots that seem to kill people. The ultimate only hits one, same with Tusk. Like these little single target, kill one person kind of heroes, Bat Rider. I mean, he's getting played a lot more as support, so he is getting better, technically. But the killers of one person, even Ringmaster, you're kind of like, you got big ultimates, but you can't actually kill one guy with your spells very easily. So there's a lot of weirdness in that sort of synergy, like the big spells right now in the top heroes. Fatal Bonds, my favorite hero, Warlock. The Lich bounces everywhere, the Silencer. Honestly, I think my current Silencer situation has been surprisingly good this particular meta, and I'll show you why. I think it has a lot to do with Pudge. So we're at 66 win rate on the old Silencer in this particular patch. Mostly Venge, a little AA, that kind of thing. But why is Silencer so damn good? Because the pick rate for pretty much all the heroes as you go up higher and higher, the old ban rate and pick rate, everyone's trying to get rid of 20% of the time Pudge, as well as his actual time of getting picked in just about every game. So that 20% is very high compared to most heroes, like 16 and 11. Like Nyx is in a lot of games, you'd think. You see a lot of Nyx Assassins. You're like, wow, that's 11% versus 1% of like Meepo or Arc Warden. Like this 21% is pretty fucking high. It's always that high because everyone loves Pudge. That's the Dota 2's hero number one. And I've learned over time, it used to be as a Crusader or an Archon and Legend player, that I didn't really care about Pudge players because they can't hit the hooks. They can't get you in weird positions. They can't mess up your day. But at Ancient, they just don't really miss as often. They're much, much better Pudge players, generally speaking, which is why this win rate is still, I guess, high enough. 50-50 is good enough for Pudge. But I think it's a little higher against me and my teammates because whether or not I can save them from the eventual dismember after the hook kind of depends on a lot of things. Coconuts for Witch Doctor, ulties for Warlock, swap for Venge, or just a long range stun maybe. But usually it gets pulled so far away that you can't actually do anything about the Pudge player, and all of his teammates, if they're smart, are standing behind him and then focus the target. So if you can be a Silencer and just say, no thank you, every time he gets ulti off, you just counter one hero directly from anywhere on the map. Like he's a 52% win rate support right now. And honestly, when you play him 5, like I see most people building Hurricane Pike, and that is not the build. Like I think it's just not part of the hero when you play him
Silencer
5.
comes to war.
I don't think it's necessary. It's kind of like people picking Windranger and never buying Blink Dagger. The whole point of the hero is that she's very fast, but to be able to blink allows you to really accentuate the amount of control you can have with your shackle shots, with your power shots, with just making sure that you stay at max range. And the Dragonlance builds are always a bit touchy. Like it's just not good enough. So I think a lot of Windrangers, especially safe lane Windrangers, typically they just don't build blink. They don't get enough activity to get out of there. And like 90% of these silencer games, I'm building Guardian Greaves and Force Staff. I don't need a Dragonlance. I don't need extra range. I just need the ability to disconnect from the spells for a second, silence some people, punch some other people, and try to disrupt the fights. Because if you hit someone enough times, like you can get them silenced pretty easily. If you max your Q, it does slow them quite a bit. And I've learned that pretty much 90% of heroes that are strength heroes hate when you are punching them with your glaives and you're a silencer. They just can't take it. They don't enjoy it. They lose too much end and they just walk away from you usually. It's just too powerful, which is funny because it doesn't actually feel like it does a lot in the early game, but when you really start hitting people, they just run away from you. It's almost like hitting them with a maledict or something. It's wild. They just do not care for it. So if you're picking supports and you're trying to raise MMR, limit your pool. I've got this pretty limited pool. The popular heroes to the right, now that there's a ban area on the top. My bans are definitely just like, hey, if it's a one hero kind of carry, LC, Slark, Bloodseeker. Right now those heroes can just fight, kill, 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 and win the game on their own if your teammates keep giving it to them. So it takes a lot of throwing on their part to beat those heroes, so I find that's why it's easier to ban them. And also a lot of the heroes I choose, Warlock, Venge, they don't do much except, against certain heroes. LC just purges your spells for the majority of the game, same with Slark. So there's little things like that you might want to consider when you're up against the same kind of crap all the time. I like heroes that cannot be countered, like A and Witch Doctor are the same hero to me. Their ultimate slash maledict just kills anyone on the map whenever you want to. Warlock is a little more synergistic, kind of requires you long term to have like time to heal or time to kill people. If they blow people up too fast, you can't really save them. Similar to Venge, you just kind of wear them down, make sure their armor's low, swap them out of position. So there's a wide variety of heroes that are pretty good this patch, at least for me. These are the popular ones I see a lot of, and you might have good luck picking them as well. But the only thing you shouldn't be picking, apparently, is Windranger. And if you're building Lena, she's really good right now. I just had a Lena in my off lane. She went Aether Lens first instead of Yules or Blink. So that was fun. We lost immediately. But I would not recommend that kind of build if you're playing her off lane. She's really good right now, as a spellcaster especially, but try Dagon, try Kaya. Try Witchblade. Just be aggressive. Don't buy boots to travel and then lose the game, because the games are fairly short right now. Would say the average time is definitely close to 35 minutes, 40 minutes at most. You get a lot of early, quick games. Sometimes you're just done in 30 minutes. You gotta be careful. So that's the wisdom I have today. You can see in the last month, 71% on the silencer, 43% in the last 3 months on my boy, Witch Doctor. So it's a sad time to be a Witch Doctor enjoyer, but a good time to silence people. Thank you.